All right, guys.
Welcome,
Welcome.
welcome.
We're live for the first time. There's no intro music. Um, did that on purpose. This episode is going to be very different than any other episode that we've ever done. And yeah, I mean, you guys know what happened. If you don't know what happened, you're living under a rock. But everybody knows what happened. We're not gonna, everybody's already said what happened. You know what happens. We're not here to like break the news or anything like that. We're just here to just have conversation about, since this thing, horrible, horrific thing has happened, where do we go from here? And what's next for our country and our culture and where we could be headed? It's going to be a choice where we're headed. This could be the end of a dark chapter, as the governor of Utah said, or it could be the beginning of a darker one.
Yeah, it's either one or two ways. Yeah, people are getting more radicalized by this for sure, but also you can, use this time to, really like get to the root of why all of this is happening and what caused it. We'll get into that a little bit, but it's really gotta, this is the title says, a turning point. This is a real turning point in the country, in as far as the political landscape goes. So yeah, we can
Yeah.
get into it.
So obviously, we know that Charlie Kirk was brutally murdered on Wednesday, simply for his beliefs, for what he believed in. Um, I think that his number one thing that he proclaimed more than anything over his politics was the name of Jesus. That he proclaimed that his faith, that was his first thing, his faith before his country. His faith is he was first God, family, then country. It was in that order, and he was really he practiced what he preached. He put that in that order, and I believe that that was the reason why he was assassinated.
Yeah. Uh, so we're gonna tease a little further in the show. We got our interviews that we did a month ago that we teased a little bit.
Exactly a month before he was assassinated. I looked at the dates.
Yeah.
It was August 10th. Yeah,
Dang.
exactly 1 month.
Yeah. So, there's people that said it's spreading hate. Obviously, they said all these crazy things about him, and a lot of even the media, not probably not directly calling him these names, but calling the people who support Trump, MAGA, Republicans, conservatives in general, are called threats or fascists. You hear we made fun of it a lot, but it's true.
No,
We had
they
that
did.
clip that came out, and I think that is a big catalyst, or you know just a causation that led us to this point.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that's so aggravating to me and has pissed me off is hearing they're like, well, this is a horrible thing, this is a horrific thing, and then the same people that are saying that, you go back at their posts, and every time they talk about Charlie Kirk, they're like, he's a threat, he's a Nazi, he's a threat to our democracy, he's our threat to our very way of living. And when you say that over and over and over and over again, you get to the point where some nut job is going to take it serious.
Hmm.
And then we get to this point where you're radicalized. The problem is we have so much radicalization. You know what this does? It it brings out more radicalization from both sides. Because now you have people on the left who are it's just absolutely disgusting. I'm going to turn up our mics just a little bit. You hear how I'm trying
Yeah,
trouble
yeah,
hearing this. Go
yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, for sure what you're saying. So shout out to every. We're gonna pause a little bit, but shout out to everybody watching right now. It's our first live stream, so
Yes.
we're working things out. I think, depending on how this one goes, we are thinking about doing live streams for our future episodes. So it's kind of like a test one, but
Yeah, for sure.
it'll be fun. We're working the kinks out, but
I thought it was very
Um,
important for everything that's going on for us to just go live.
yeah,
Just, yeah.
yeah. So I guess we'll start. The impact he had on us. Like, you want to get into that on you?
Yeah.
Where did you first, hear about Charlie Kirk?
Through social media. That's where he made his rounds. And I mean, that's how he got so popular. And people don't realize that, uh, yes, he's been around for over, I think he was about 13 years. At Turning Point USA has been around. He founded in 2012. And then, you know, obviously, we're in 2025, so it's been 13 years since he started that. But it was through social media, like the reels you see and things like that, his podcast, and through listening through other podcasters. They kind of would mention his name, and then I kind of like started doing my research on who he was and stuff, and then started, and then I found out that he was a Christian. So then that was a kind of a huge draw for me, because me being a Christian, I was like, wow, he's a like-minded person. Not only is he just conservative in politics, but he's a Christian first before any of that. I feel like there's a lot of great conservative voices, um, in the field right now, but I feel like a lot of them, myself included, I've caught myself doing this, is they kind of put that at the forefront of who they are rather than their identity in Christ. And that's
Hmm.
something that Charlie Kirk did that so well, was his identity was first in Christ before anything else. And I think that was kind of the biggest impact that he had for me. It was kind of listening to him kind of keeps me level-headed, and when talking politics, it's first. It all goes back and points back to Christ before anything else.
Yeah. I think I first heard about him from our church, actually. Um, as the church we go to, we would host him a couple times, and I think it was when he did some messages, like not just the usual thing he
Yeah.
did these past couple years, but he had his like a message, and I think that was the first time, because I wasn't super political and stuff, but I've been Christian my whole life, and hearing like that side of, like, why, us Christians should be, have a ear to like the political landscape, and why we should
Yeah.
pay attention to it. And then looked into him when I started seeing his videos on YouTube. The thing is before clips. But his debates, and I'd always just watch them, just
Oh yeah, yeah.
all the debates, and that's what his flagship or whatever, that's what he did. That was his thing.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and it just kept growing and growing,
But people don't realize that his popularity didn't skyrocket until just last year. Like, not like
Yeah.
he was kind of more just like, if you were in the conservative, I guess you could say, echo chamber. I don't know if that's the right word, but I mean, I guess if you were in that echo chamber, like your only feed was conservative voices, you would know who he was. But then I feel like Charlie started getting out. He started breaking outside of that to the point where he was everywhere. Like, he was in all spaces, not
Hmm.
just the conservative spaces. He was starting to make noise in every other space, like TikTok. I think they said in 2024, I think billions upon billions of TikTok views. Um, I think I wouldn't surprise me if they're probably the top creators on the platform from
Hmm.
last year. And we know how unfriendly TikTok is toward conservatives. It's a rat's nest over
Yeah.
there when it comes to bias. Um, so yeah, only in the last year has it really um, the whole vibe, or I guess the whole like way of him debating on college campuses, it's become a cultural phenomenon to the point where even South Park just last month made an episode about him.
Hmm.
That's how much noise he was making in the culture. That they made a whole episode about the master debater.
Yeah. I
Got to
think
separate those
think
two.
they I think they took it down. I think out of
They didn't take it down.
they
They
didn't.
just didn't rerun them.
Okay,
Yeah, they're like, we're
that's
not
what I
going to
saw.
rerun that episode. They're not getting rid of it.
Good. I
Um,
don't think he would have wanted that
no,
anyways.
he wouldn't want that. I think they're just out of respect. We're gonna wait to rerun it for a
Yeah, okay,
while,
that's good. That's
which is
smart.
good.
Smart
Which
move.
is good on the creators of South Park,
Yeah.
and respect. And there's been massive respect from people on the left. I hope it's genuine. Some I question, but there has been some people on the left. I think I was actually seeing a clip earlier just this morning. Charlie Kirk talking about Dean Withers. Dean Withers and Parker, those two
Yeah.
guys. I've always said they're really annoying at debating, but um,
Did you see?
Charlie,
Did you see the one of him?
yeah, yeah, the
Yeah.
clip of Dean Withers. Yeah, Dean Withers was crying on his live stream. I think Dean Withers is actually genuine. I know people were like bashing on him, but I think his was actually genuine. Um, even even Charlie Kirk had respect for Dean Withers. He's like, honestly, I can see Dean Withers becoming conservative because I guess he's intellectually honest, and he is intellectually honest because when Charlie Kirk's passing was announced, he was like, "This is awful."
Yeah.
As much as I disagree and hate his stances on things, he's a human being. He's a father. He's a husband. No one deserves to die over their opinion, no matter how much
Yeah.
you hate it.
Mm-hmm. No, but and I mean that shows me he has like some heart still, and it's like not
Yeah, because
stone cold.
we have some disgusting, utterly disgusting clips that we need to expose. We need to make sure they get out into the sphere because people need to know that these people are absolutely disgusting and are championing the death of Charlie Kirk, and they need to be exposed.
Yeah.
I mean, we have things like this.
Let's get to these clips,
let's get to
guys.
these clips.
We're gonna check them out. These,
Did you hear
oh,
it?
it's so nasty,
Mr.
bro.
Potato Head himself got in Utah. I think he's still alive. What was he wearing? What was he saying to produce such animosity in people? Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, you got these people
Did
that
you hear
we,
the
you
news?
know,
Sorry.
Did you hear it?
that
Also, there we go.
we got these people that are out here. They're out. It's so nasty. I'm not laughing at like, it's just, I just can't believe that, you know, people have the heart or like just no care to even just, you know, celebrate or be happy. What do you think that comes from?
It's
you know?
their brain is so rotted. It's so rotted, and we've talked about it over and over and over again. That's why whenever this happened, and I saw a tweet or I saw a post on X from Asmongold saying, "If you are surprised by what happened on Wednesday, you're not paying attention. It's proof that you are uninformed and don't have knowledge." That's
Mhm.
what it is. If you're
Mhm.
surprised by this, you're not paying attention. We've talked about it over and over and over again. I'm actually just going to play a clip that we got from the show 2 freaking weeks ago. 2 freaking weeks ago. Let's play it.
Yep.
This is the stuff that leads to this. Watch this.
Let's go.
You right-wing extremists are into that gender binary, which is very oppressive.
So I'm just gonna really fast. I'm not a right-wing extremist. I'm actually a United
you
States.
have American flag on your shirt.
I'm a United States.
You're getting called a
Uh.
right-wing extremist for wearing the country's flag of whom you live in. That mindset.
Yeah.
That mindset leads to that. And I said it right before we play that video on the show. I said, this is the kind of behavior that leads to stuff like this. And then here we are.
Mm-hmm.
Here we freaking are.
Mm-hmm.
Prove my point.
It's calling the normal person or what like a majority of the people think, calling them extremists and just the absurdity of like you don't believe or you don't live in their reality. You're a Nazi and all of this stuff.
We have a chatter in our stream. Mr. Juan Amaria. Shouts out to him. We know him. He's a great friend of
Shout
ours.
out. He's the man.
Their disregard for life begins in the womb. No wonder they celebrate Charlie's death. And yeah, that's true.
Uh-huh.
Because we know that group of people, they celebrate death before a life can even be born.
Yeah. So it's no shock why they could care less. I saw a post like how people are talking about like leaving his wife and kids behind. And these people don't care that's not
No.
going to work on them because they hate their parents and they don't want to have kids. So that,
it just shows a sign that they're not even happy with themselves.
yeah.
They're not happy with themselves. They themselves are so they hate themselves so much that they're trying to justify anything to help themselves make them feel better about themselves.
Mhm.
They're striving to do anything they can to make themselves feel an ounce of joy about themselves because they're so unhappy.
Yeah.
It's what it is.
Mhm.
It's what it is. And the question that I have now, and this is a big question, and we need to clip this part right here because this is a genuine question of mine. Can conservatives and liberals genuinely coexist in society? are we moving farther and farther away from a society where liberals and conservatives can coexist or cannot? What do you think?
I don't want it to be true. I'll say that first, because I think once we're divided and we can't coexist, that's the end of our country, honestly.
Yeah, and our foreign adversaries love that.
Yeah,
They love
that's what they want.
eating each other alive. That's what they want.
Yeah. In the landscape now, I think it's hard, but also it's on the internet. Like majority of the people I run into, and like I have a lot of liberal family and stuff, and it might be different because we're family, and
Yeah.
we're forced, or not forced, but we choose to be, you know, cordial to each other. But I don't know, like the reality of like the people you run into. If I feel like I try to avoid politics talks in general, and like just to strangers and stuff, unless they bring it up first. But
Yeah.
I don't know, a majority of people are gonna be as crazy in person. Maybe nowadays, like right now, I feel like scared. Honestly, like I'm gonna be totally honest, like scared of like displaying what I believe in, like politics wise. I'm scared to share my faith, but you just never know, especially
Yeah.
it's so hot nowadays.
Yeah, it is. And I just feel like here's my one genuine concern, and Charlie Kirk said it himself, the moment that the conversation ends is when things get violent. So now with this happening, do we stop talking?
I think we have to start talking now, or
Yeah.
we're gonna go down that dark path we
Yeah,
were talking
exactly.
about.
I think the only thing is that people notice that when you do start talking, it pisses people off so much. Their brain is so rotted, like that clip we just watched of this deranged individual. The
Yeah.
brain is so rotted because they're stuck on the freaking internet. I've had to tell myself, get off the freaking
Me
internet this
too.
week.
Me
Oh my
too.
gosh, this was one of the hardest times that I was just glued to the internet. I finally had to stop and say, I gotta practice what I preach. Get off the freaking internet. This is what led to this. And the guy that assassinated Charlie Kirk, which I've been hearing lots of misinformation, that he was MAGA, his parents are Republican. Who gives a absolute crap if his parents are Republican? How many stories have we heard of parents that are Republican and they have children? They go off to college, even if it's just for one semester, like this guy did, and they're completely radicalized. Or you know where else they could be radicalized? On the freaking internet.
Mhm.
Have you seen the crap that's on the internet?
Yeah.
Radicalizing both left and right. And you want to talk about radicalization. Oh, yes. We got rid of Charlie Kirk. Do you know who's... I was telling Trey this just now. You want to know who had over 100,000 viewers? He had actually, I think the whole live stream had almost 1 million views. 870-something thousand views. You want to know who had that? Completely just wiping Hassan mopping the floor with Hassan, Kai Cenat, all those popular streamers. You know who had almost 1 million people watching his show this past week? Nick Fuentes.
Ooh.
You want to talk about an extremist? It's that guy.
Mhm.
You think Charlie Kirk was an extremist? Charlie Kirk was a moderate. Actually, Nick Fuentes makes Charlie Kirk sound like a liberal.
Yeah.
So, to any leftist that see this, is that what you want? You want people to flock over towards Nick Fuentes?
Mhm.
Because it's happening.
Mhm.
It's clearly happening by the stats of each show of most popular live streams that were going on.
Show that
At
picture.
once.
Bring it up.
Yep. I'm going to show it right
Let's-
now.
Show me the evidence.
I'm about to show you the evidence
Yeah,
right
I
now.
haven't even seen Dave Smith. He's a libertarian saying that Charlie Kirk was the moderate.
Yeah. No,
He-
definitely.
He was.
I don't know,
Yeah,
is there that?
it was down more.
Okay. Yeah.
You go look at all these clips.
Okay,
That's
look,
Nick
yep.
Fuentes. You describe who he is.
So-
There's a lot of people that
Yes.
don't
So
know.
those of you who don't know who Nick Fuentes is, he's a. If you've heard of Alex Jones, super far right. You want to talk about alt right personality? It's this guy. Okay, and I've been seeing his stuff a lot more on X. Like it went from I would hear his name and I would just hear that he's a crazy anti-Semite, but I really wouldn't see any of his clips. But lately, over the last several months, I've been seeing more and more and more of his stuff. And now that this has happened, to Charlie Kirk, now my feed is flooded
Even my feed, man.
flooded by stuff by Nick Fuentes.
Yeah.
That tells you something.
Mhm.
That absolutely tells you something. So you lefties are like, yeah, well, we got rid of Charlie Kirk. He's an extremist. You thought you got rid of an extremist? 892,000 views
Yep. Down here.
in 4 hours. In 4 hours of this live stream happening, over 1 million, or almost over 1 million. Excuse me.
Mhm.
Yes, in 4 hours, almost 1 million views.
Yeah.
You want to talk about extremes?
Now that's on Rumble.
And that's on
So,
Rumble. That's
yeah.
not even. That's an alternative
Yeah.
platform. Not even YouTube. Not even Twitch. Not even Kick.
Yeah. Go to that other one that you showed me of the list.
Oh yeah.
Now, if these numbers are real, that's insane. You know, there's people can view bot nowadays, but still, like, there has to be a good chunk of that's
Look at
real.
this.
Look at the top left.
Nick
under-
Fuentes has more viewers than people watching Thursday Night Football.
Even Kai Cenat, he's the biggest streamer right now.
Nick Fuentes has more people watching him than people watching the NFL.
That's insane.
That should tell you something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but that's Rumble part.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind. It's
Yeah.
on one platform.
Yeah.
But
But it's compiling all the platforms.
All the platforms.
Yeah, it's compiling all the platforms. So like Prime Video, this is like everybody who's watching Prime Video.
Okay.
Like this is
thought that was
streams
just on
going not streams on one platform. This is streams overall.
Overall. Oh my god.
This is
okay.
overall. This is what I'm
Okay.
saying. This is huge.
That's crazy.
People
I
are
thought it was just on
underestimating
Rumble.
this. No.
Okay, I see. It says Twitch and okay.
Yeah. No. Yeah. This is not just Rumble
Golly.
streams. This is the streams that are happening live over the internet.
That's insane.
Nick Fuentes is number one.
Golly. Yeah, he's the more extremist, you can say, more alt-right.
Yeah, exactly. Is that what you want? That's not what I want. I'll be honest with you. Some of the stuff
I disagree with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, some of the stuff I hear Nick Fuentes say, I'm like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
buddy.
But
You're getting a little crazy here.
yeah.
But you want to talk about radicalization? I've heard it from so many people on the right. It's so concerning. I'm radicalized now. I'm radicalized
I've been
now.
seeing that a lot. It's
And it's true because look at this. Look at this picture. Just take a look.
Hassan. He's even above Hassan.
Hassan.
He's the liberals or the socialists, the communists,
Yes.
whatever.
The liberals
Same
love
thing.
that guy.
It's all the same thing.
He's the Charlie Kirk for
Yeah.
for the left.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this is not. And here's a clip of Nick Fuentes
Yeah. it's
just to
showing
show you.
them.
Let me show you
Give them
what
a
you're
taste.
what you're
of-
putting yourself up against right now.
These people that are now selling t-shirts with Charlie Kirk and a bullet wound in his neck, they cannot be negotiated with. You cannot debate with them. You cannot persuade them to vote Republican. You cannot appeal to them. You will never convince them that you're a good person, that you just want the best for everybody. You will never get them to stop hating you. People like to say, well, can the left finally admit that they have their own problem? They'll never admit that. They'll never admit that. These craven losers, that person, that when Charlie Kirk got shot in the neck, instinctually got up and turned and celebrated, they have to be defeated. We can't change their minds. We can't invite them to change our minds. We can't negotiate with them. We can't invite them for a political compromise. If your gut reaction to seeing someone take a bullet in the neck and their face explode, and their young children run up to them because they were afraid of the noise, if your reaction was to grin and celebrate, you must be defeated. You must be destroyed. You must be identified, you must be isolated, and you must be eradicated from our society. Not Democrats, not leftists, not liberals, those people that would celebrate in that moment. That is pure evil, pure malice. There is no charity in a person's heart. I don't care who it is, who sees anybody get their neck exploded and celebrate like that. That's the kind of evil we're dealing with. That's the kind of evil that has taken over our society. It has become too common. People have let it fester. These people.
Thoughts on that clip? I don't know if
That
you've
is
seen that, Trejo.
Nick Fuentes.
Have you seen that clip?
No.
What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, there's gonna be people. I was looking in the comments. There's people that
I gotta take it serious.
truly gonna take it seriously. Just how impressionable, the people on the left are, like the young ones. It's the same on the right. We're all, when you're such a young age and you're taking all this stuff in, you're impressionable, and a lot of this stuff sticks, and it can go down a dark route.
Yeah. He said that, those people need to be eradicated from our society. I don't know what he means by that. And again, I'm not for any sort of political violence in any way, shape, or form. But the problem is when you have nut jobs on the other side, they're taking the threat seriously of, fascists. These are Nazis. Somebody takes a threat, takes that threat seriously, and then somebody commits that kind of act.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised when the other side decides to
Mm-hmm.
listen to someone like Nick Fuentes and be like, now we need vengeance.
Yeah, I think putting that message out there is dangerous. What he was saying,
Yeah.
it's dangerous. You go down that rabbit or down that hole. It's just,
Yeah.
it's very dangerous. It's radicalizing the other side now, and now they really have us pinned against each other.
Yeah. And now it strengthens the my team versus your team mentality even more because now it's us against them. Like, I've seen people say this is war. They've declared war, which is extremely dangerous rhetoric. And people are like, I've heard people to the point say we need civil war over this.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's not an off ramp and people keep beginning to be radicalized on both sides, the tension just keeps getting worse and worse. I thought it was already bad as it is, but no, it's only gotten worse, and we don't know where it's going to go from here.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know. It could
No.
get worse, and if it keeps getting worse, we could end up in a civil war.
As a very possibility, or a likely possibility. Because even just with the Trump stuff, that was like, that was a close call.
Yes,
But
by the hand of God, a miracle
yeah.
of God Himself.
But we live in a world where, sadly, that presidents getting assassinated. It's a common thing. It's reality. It's happened in the past quite a few times. But to have, just a political activist, get assassinated publicly like this, that's a different line we're crossing.
And with the technology we have now, how it was put on display,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely horrific, man. Like, we thought the JFK, the Zapruder, I think that's how you pronounce it, the Zapruder. This is the modern day Zapruder film now. This will go and it will live in infamy.
It's gonna live on the internet forever.
And for that to be on display, the amount of, again, hatred and malice, this is not a left or right issue. We cannot make it that. What we need to do is that left and right, we need to go back to say, okay, what are we disagreeing on?
Mm-hmm.
Are we disagreeing on foreign policy, or are we disagreeing as you as a person? Again, we've talked about on the show, these people gotten so caught up in their ideology, they're so brain rotted that they no longer support ideas, they idolize people. So they see the person as bad before they see any of their ideas.
Yeah.
It's bad people with ideas rather than people with bad ideas.
Yeah, and they're too caught up in their self, like with the whole identity politics. It's all about me. It's all about
They think they're
what
going to
my
be the history
feelings
book
need to
one
be.
day.
Yeah. And it's, I just being more selfless, and I think that, obviously we're Christians. I think, following the works of Jesus and, giving your life to Him, is a great step forward
Yeah.
to fixing all this stuff.
We have an epidemic. Actually, not epidemic. We have a pandemic of
Yeah.
main character syndrome. That's what it is. It's literally what it is. And we're talking about, again, like going back to the shooter, so much misinformation. The left is trying to dodge. They're trying to dodge it every way possible to say this guy was MAGA, and this guy was a crazy right-wing guy. His parents might have been Republicans. That doesn't mean crap. They said. I just read something this morning saying that a person that knew him personally in high school began to get radicalized. That he was the outlier in his family that was left wing. Believe it or not, just because a whole family is Republican doesn't mean the whole family. He just talked. Trejo just said it himself. He's got family members that are liberal.
Most of my family on one side is all liberal. I come from a liberal family.
Yeah, so I'm like, just because his mom and dad doesn't mean crap. That doesn't mean jack crap.
Yeah.
This guy was radicalized on the internet. He was radicalized through the universities. And I'm pretty sure he heard all he's a threat to democracy. He's fascist, Nazi, hates black people. He's racist, misogynist. His best friend was a black woman named Candace Owens. But we're not going to talk about that because Candace Owens is not part of their team. You see what I'm saying here?
She's a white supremacist too.
You see, just because Candace Owens doesn't play along with their team, it doesn't count. Again, it's this whole my team versus your team mentality that has rotted your brain, and we finally started working on a script, and we're going to make a little docu-film about my team versus your team and how that thing right there, if that thing is not addressed, it will destroy America as we know it.
Yeah, word. It's very, very true what you're saying, because it's just so, like, they're using... It's at this point I feel like it's warfare. They're using ideas as weapons in these schools. These words, they're using them to to militarize their soldiers, if you want to look at it in a military standpoint.
Yeah. And
they're assembling them or in these schools, training them on what their ideology is, what your mission is, and
yeah,
we're in we use the term culture war. It's seeming more like a war,
literally a war,
every day as it goes by.
But keep in mind, as Christians, this is not a war against flesh and bone. It's war against the principalities and the darkness of the enemy.
Yeah, let's bring up some scripture because it's hard as Christians. We don't want to get our revenge, or we have that temptation to.
And vengeance is of the Lord.
Yes,
that too. That's also scripture. Vengeance comes from the Lord, and while he's looking for that scripture, this will probably be what we do, and then I have probably one more clip, and then we'll get into the interview section. I know it's been long awaited for some people. People have been asking me. People that have seen me around are like, when is it coming out? And I'm like, we're working on it, and then now now it's. It's so unfortunate that we had to endure this event, but now it's like we really need to put those clips out, and so we can see you can show you firsthand how people I've believed about Charlie Kirk.
Yeah. So I got the verse. It's Ephesians 6:12. This is out of the New International Version. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of an evil in the heavenly realms. It's not what we're seeing. It's not me and you. It's not the person across the street.
No.
It's
against Satan himself.
Yep, it's against the enemy himself. There's a darker force, letting these ideas creep into the minds, just as like the internet, it's a tool, as we can, go online and spread the gospel, the enemy's doing the same thing, and he's more efficient at it. I feel like, he's the ruler of this world. He's mastered all the tricks. He knows how to get these things done. So
yeah,
it's just a hard, a thing to remember, to not let your flesh, want to take matters into your own hands.
And you also got to remember, I've been thinking about this too. The people that are celebrating or they want to gravitate towards political violence, and this applies to leftists and conservatives. You live by the sword, you will die by the sword.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
political violence is how you want to go about things.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
No.
That's not the way I'm doing it.
I'm going to be straight honest. Like, we called each other. He called me, the day it happened. And we were just, giving our thoughts on just the whole situation. And I was like, I'm just straight up like, it, spooked me or shook me to, like, even continue the show or, like, or not, but, like, talk about this stuff and, like, how volatile it's like, because I know we're not as big, nowhere near as big as he was and, the audience he has, but it's like, I still believe that, there's crazy people out there,
Yeah.
But also, I got to remember, 2 Timothy 1:7, I got it tatted on me. Is like the Lord doesn't give us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. So
yeah, and they would
Uh,
want us to be quiet.
yes,
After this event. That's what
exactly.
they would want us to do.
and you encouraged me with, what your dad said. And
Yeah, my dad's would told me that because my dad's like, that's exactly what they would want. They'd want you to be
Mhm.
quiet.
it's true.
And yeah, look at this clip. This is gonna lead us straight into our interviews to the
Next segment.
Charlie Kirk event that we went to last month. This is pretty much what it is here.
Well, I don't know the exact definition of a fascist, so I don't know if he is or isn't a fascist.
Bro, we
Then why the hell are you saying the word?
yeah.
What are you saying? I don't know what that means.
We'll get into it later, but I had the opportunity to ask this question, but I folded.
I know it was our first one. It was.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. It was quite nerve-wracking
It was.
because it's crazy. A lot of these deranged leftists, as soon as you press them on anything, like as soon as you try to again, you want them to explain why they believe something. Like you can't even. We live in a society where you can't even what is that? You can't even define what you believe. How are you supposed to defend your argument? Like that's like me being a Christian. Why do you believe in God? Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. Get away from me. What? There's a reason why I believe. I should be able to defend what I believe in.
Mm-hmm.
Whether I agree with it or not, that's on you. But if you're going to come around and try to bash my beliefs, you should at least be able to have an argument and defend why you believe your thing. Which actually, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to give credit where credit is due. A lot of these people that we listened to, that we interviewed, actually, I expected them to be way more clueless. And they actually, some were, I mean, their ideas were clueless. That's just my opinion. Again, do I believe that they need to be, violence is to be, that people need to be violent towards them? Absolutely freaking not. No. Again, we live in America. We can exchange ideas. I think their ideas are stupid. That's fine. They can believe my ideas are stupid. That's the beauty of America.
Yeah, and that's what Charlie was for.
Exactly.
There's an old clip of why someone asked him. It was way early on before he had an audience, but he asked why does he do this, and it's to keep the communication going, because he said when communication stops, it's when violence starts happening.
Yeah.
And it's so true.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to continue the conversation.
Exactly. So that's exactly what we did. We did not debate these people. We actually just asked them. We actually pretended to be on their side.
Yes.
We actually.
What was our network's
We
name?
went undercover. Our network's name. Building Equity for All Nations. BEAN for short. Yeah.
Bean.
Right. Look at me. I went undercover with my Mexico hat.
Yeah.
Before somebody says, "Oh my gosh, you're culture appropriation." I'm Mexican, so you can shut up before you judge me by the color of my skin. You freaking racist.
Tell that in Spanish.
Yeah. Soy mexicano. Tell you that right now. Okay, so yes, I'm Mexican. I have no white in me. The only reason why my skin is so white is because I hate going outside. Okay, I don't like touching grass a whole lot. I'm a gamer. Anyways, so we're gonna get into this. This is to the Charlie Kirk event that we went literally a month before his assassination.
1 month.
Exactly 1 month before his assassination. And we interviewed people that were protesting the Charlie Kirk event that we went to, and like I said, we didn't debate them. We just had conversation. We just let them talk. Here we go. Here it is.
The color fixes itself.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
don't mind that.
Yeah, we're recording a log, but then
It's our first time. We're
Premiere sucks.
I got beef for Premiere. So
All right, here we go.
What
What
That's
is up,
besides the
guys?
fact.
We have traveled all the way to Clovis, New Mexico. As you can see, the Charlie
There we
Kirk
go.
event is happening in about 30 minutes. And as you look to our right, we do have some people protesting. It's actually not very many, but I'm really interested to see what they think about this protest, what they think about Charlie Kirk. We already know that, but I think I would really like to
First-hand
know, and
account.
Trey would like to know as well.
first-hand account of what Charlie Kirk protesters are thinking.
Yes, first-hand account.
Do they think Christianity is a net positive for society or not? We'll find out.
What's the main thing that motivated you to come out here?
So I am with a group called Rural Resistance, and we are fighting against fascism.
This was my opportunity, dude.
What is that? This is
I'm so mad at myself. It's
What is
okay.
that? Like you could just be like, for our audience that doesn't know, for our uninformed audience, can you let them know what that is? She probably would have been like, "Why? I shouldn't have to tell you." I mean, that's how 9 times out of 10 that's the response you get. They can't define what they're saying.
You either get They either quit the interview or they start barking at you. One or two options.
Yes, you either get just I don't want to talk anymore.
Yeah.
And right now, Legacy Church is live streaming Charlie Kirk, who is a major fascist. And I believe that politics should not be in a church. There is a
Major fascist, right? And when fascists, they're racist, right? Again, let me just put this thought out for you. Charlie Kirk's best friend is Candace Owens, a black woman. Let's continue on.
reason that there's a separation between church and state, and they're just doing whatever the hell they want.
I don't get that argument, first of all, because he's not in the government or anything. He's not part of the state.
Yeah,
What is she talking-
but can we rewind
Go ahead.
to
Go ahead.
2020?
Go ahead.
Can we rewind to
Oh, yep,
2020?
that's a good point.
Whenever they were shoving down, don't worship, don't worship. You better you super spreading church, you super spreading. What the hell happened to that? Oh yeah, Ryan. It's not convenient to you, right?
Yeah.
It's not part of. It doesn't fit your My Teen narrative. Oh, crazy how that works, huh? Yeah, right.
And so I think it's important to come out here and be a voice for those who still feel the same, but they're afraid to say it. We've had a really great response out here already. A lot of people are out here honking, waving, giving us thumbs up. So I know I'm not alone in this. So as long as I can be a voice for someone else, that's the most important part. Yeah.
What do you think is like the biggest harm you think he's causing to local communities?
So right now, in this day and age, he is a very prominent presence for the younger generation. There are a lot of young kids who look up to him. And
All right, let's break down some of his things that he wants for that his main talking points. What he wants for the next generation.
Can I say something that I just noticed though?
Go ahead.
Do you notice the shirt she's wearing?
Kinda, yeah. Did not, bro. They were all wearing some crazy shirts.
Deny, defend, oppose. I'm pretty sure that's the whole message behind Luigi Mangione,
Really?
the dude that assassinated.
Oh, was that like
Deny.
the words he wrote on the bullets? Murder.
What does that
Murder
tell you? That
advocate.
tells you a lot, doesn't it?
An advocate.
She probably loves Luigi Mangione. Just saying by the T-shirt.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to you were saying. I'm sorry. I
Just
had
about but like break down like what he wanted for the future generation. Like what was his
Yeah.
main talking points? Like I don't think they were as harmful or hateful as
No.
they're saying.
You want to talk about again? Charlie Kirk was a moderate. You want to talk about an extremist? She's making it out saying he's a fascist extremist. Lady, have you listened to Nick Fuentes?
Yeah.
Have you listened to Nick Fuentes?
Again, he was the moderate. He was
Yes.
more of a moderate.
And
conservative.
before he even proclaimed politics, he cared more about proclaiming the gospel.
Hmm. He wanted, I've seen clips. He wanted, the young generation to be able to own a home, start a family, and live the American dream.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's just
He wanted people to live the American dream. He inspired critical thinking. The
Yeah.
reason why I say he inspired critical thinking is because he invited people who did not like him to talk. He didn't want to live in an echo chamber. He said, "You disagree? Okay, come on, come up to the mic and
he
let's
wanted
talk."
freedom of speech to be still
Exactly.
still a thing.
It's crazy how all the leftists, we're so about freedom of speech. It'll be the only speech that they like.
Yep.
It's only freedom of speech whenever it's on their team.
Hmm.
The moment that freedom is that speech is not on their team, they don't want it to be freedom anymore.
No.
who believe what he says without doing the research on their own. And I think that it's very harmful because he discriminates against women. He
lifted up Candace Owens to give her the platform that she has right now. She said it this week in her episode. Candace Owens said she would not be Candace Owens if it weren't for Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk helped. They traveled the world together for years. They were a duo before Charlie Kirk was Charlie Kirk.
Hmm. And if he was a true misogynist, he wouldn't. I don't think he would want or have women debate against him.
Exactly.
If you're a true misogynist,
he wouldn't. He
you
wouldn't
wouldn't
have
even
his-
talk to a woman.
He wouldn't even partner with a woman,
Exactly.
let alone a black woman.
That's okay.
But it's not on their team, so it doesn't count, right?
believes that it's not our right to choose over our body autonomy. He is just very much
He's a honker.
He's just very much a negative presence, and I think that it's important to have young generations question that, and I think it's important that they do their own research, that not everything that he says is true, and just because he has a following doesn't mean that he's right.
That was the sign she was
What
holding.
brought you out here today?
I am out here protesting Charlie Kirk speaking at this church. Hang on, Hazel, I'm talking to him, okay? Yeah, so I'm here to speak out against a white supremacist speaking at a church.
Okay. And when's the first time you heard about Charlie Kirk?
Well, I used to live in Arizona, so a couple years back, that's where Turning Point USA was founded, and I went to Arizona State University, and they hosted, or a student group hosted his organization, so a couple years ago.
Okay. And what do you think is the biggest harm you think he's causing to small communities?
Well, I think Hazel, do you hear I'm talking? I think we're a community that's beautifully diverse, and he's part of an effort to divide us, and I think that's incredibly harmful to communities. The fact that a church is advocating for this from a guy who platforms Holocaust deniers and people who think I should be murdered, that's shameful.
Okay. Yeah.
He does not platform Holocaust deniers. You want to talk about Holocaust denier? Oh, again, we talked about it again. Oh, yeah, he almost had 1 million views on Rumble, an alternative media source. Oh, yeah, who's that guy's name? Oh, yeah, I forgot. Oh, yeah, Nick Fuentes, the guy everybody's flocking to. You want to talk about a Holocaust denier? And here's the thing. You think Charlie Kirk and Nick Fuentes, or put Nick Fuentes on a platform? No, he didn't like him. They did not like each other.
Yeah. Bro, it's there, because Charlie Kirk being gone is there's a void now, and all those people are gonna go flock to somebody else, and right now he seems like the most popular one.
You want to talk about true extremism? You want to talk about true Holocaust deniers? He's one. Yeah. So there's that thing that you're lying about is Charlie Kirk is Holocaust deniers. No, because that's Nick Fuentes. They didn't like each other, and actually says true anti-Semitic things.
I definitely understand that. Do you think, he's one of the biggest things that Charlie Kirk holds is, being Christian and all that stuff. Do you think Christian overall is a net positive for society, or do you think he's just like one of the bad apples?
Say that, do I think Christianity is bad?
Yeah,
overall?
or do you think he's one of the bad apples?
I think he's a bad apple. I mean, I'm sitting here holding a quote from the fucking Bible that says to love your neighbor. Excuse my French.
No, you're good.
And
Don't you just love whenever lefties just pick out scripture?
I love
They don't read anything. They just pick out one line.
They tell us how to be Christians.
God is love. That's it. That's all I know. God is love. For
God
God so loved the world. And then nothing else.
God is love.
I think it's Matthew 22:39. Love your neighbor. Let's break this down a little more.
Let's see. Right here. All right. Matthew 22:39. A second is equally important. Love your neighbor as yourself. Let's read. I'm going to read a little from 34. Never mind. I'm going to go 37. Jesus replied, "You must love the Lord your God with all your heart and all your soul and all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. A second is equally important. Love your neighbor as yourself. The entire law and all the demands of the prophets are based on these two commandments." And then surrounded by the Pharisees, Jesus asked them a question. "What do you think about the Messiah? Whose son is he?" They replied, "He is the son of David." Jesus responded, "Then why does David, speaking under the inspiration of the Spirit, call the Messiah my Lord? For David said, the Lord said to my Lord, sit in the place of honor at my right hand until I humble your enemies beneath your feet." All right, it goes on, but
Yeah, it goes on. But they love to take that passage of scripture and say, "See, you're supposed to love your neighbor," which you are correct.
but
Me as a Christian, if I'm having a respectful dialogue with her, I'm asking her questions. So in a way, I'm being nice. I'm being loving. If I was not loving my neighbor, I would be like, "Look at your shirt. You see your shirt? What is that trans flag doing there? You piece of crap. Your ideology is stupid. You're stupid. You're a threat to democracy. You are a communist, you commie. Do you like communism? Huh? You commie?"
that don't sound like love to me.
No, that right there, I would be wrong. I would not be loving my neighbor. Maybe I'm loving my neighbor. I'm having peaceful dialect and say, "Okay, what do you think? I want to hear your thoughts on this."
I think another, non-loving thing is, saying somebody does something that they don't really do, or they platform Holocaust deniers that they don't like lie about them. You don't think
Yeah.
that's loving?
Defamation.
Got some.
Okay, all right. So we got another chatter. Adrian X Bit 08, welcome to the chat. Talking about bad apples, but she says holding a quote from the effing Bible. Like, come on, talk about bad apples, but
Yeah.
all right, let's
you
keep
were
going.
talking about, guys.
He's, turning it into something. He's perverted
I
Christian.
want one more thing on the love thing. Like, what is love? Like, what's their definition of love? I think loving is not telling, embellishing somebody's lie. Not feeding into their lie. That's going to be
Murdering
destructive.
somebody over their opinion because you disagree.
Yeah, love your neighbor.
Eliminating them. Yeah. And I love how she says on the back, deport your neighbor. Yeah.
He said from Charlie Kirk.
Well, if my neighbor, they're not a neighbor, they're not supposed to be here. Anyways, let's keep going.
To the point that I think if Jesus showed up, he'd try and deport him.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Thank you. My name's Rudy, and we're with a show called Building Equity for All Nations. What is your name?
Bean for short.
Cheryl? Okay, Cheryl. Nice to meet you, Cheryl. What has brought you out here today?
I'm out here actually for the younger generation because my generation is up there. But
Get her sign.
Not her sign, but I'm talking about trends, guys. Same build, same haircut, same everything.
There's been a trend in the past 3 people we've interviewed. Just saying. Let's just leave that there.
Well, here we got. Who do we got? We got a boomer here. All right.
mostly to protest against Charlie Kirk and his beliefs, anti-Semitism, misogyny, all of that, and it's just wrong. It's just building a more world of hate, and this message is getting pushed in not only because he's associated with Turning Point USA, so they're getting pushed in the high schools and in the colleges, so this negative message of his is getting forwarded, and all these young people are hearing this, and it's wrong. And too many people have fought for decades and decades to get the equalities and freedoms that they have now, to just have it turned around and stripped away from them. And the young people don't know this. I remember when women couldn't get a car loan. I remember when women couldn't get a house loan or a credit card. I remember. And it's important that those freedoms and
Does she think Charlie Kirk wants to take the ability for women to get a credit card loan or a house loan or a car loan?
I think she does. I don't know if she has. You think she knew like a lot about Charlie Kirk, or she was like, "Oh, there's a local protest. I'm gonna go to
I
it."
doubt it. Older generation, her generation, the boomers do not know who Charlie Kirk is. They just know they just hear what they hear from the younger generation. Fascist Nazi. Oh, fascist Nazi. Let's go get him. Yep. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, whatever is the hot topic on MSDNC, they're gonna go for it.
Exactly.
those privileges are afforded to everyone. It doesn't matter your color, your race, your religion, your culture, your beliefs. Everyone should be afforded equality and freedoms. I don't care who you are. And for one person or a belief of this Christian nationalist movement, which is more of a political movement than it is a Christian type movement, for that to be pushed forward is just a word and message of hate. And we can't go on like this. I mean, look at what's in 7 months, look at what's happened already. People are getting pulled off the streets, just people that have lived here for years and years and years.
Coolest people getting pulled off the streets. MS-13 gang members, people that have committed heinous crimes. People that shouldn't be here. So you did some research. So you're gonna.
Yeah, I'm just looking up. Just because they're saying all this crazy stuff about how dangerous Turning Point USA is in the schools, and so I just looked up. Their core beliefs. What are some of their core beliefs? This is from Gemini, so whatever. So core principles: limited government. The organization advocates for a smaller government with reduced federal spending and involvements in the lives of citizens.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
No, less government not telling them what to do. They control their spending. Yeah, I like that.
Okay. Free markets. TPUSA promotes free market capitalism as the most moral and proven economic system, emphasizing fiscal responsibility and opposing socialist ideas. I can get behind that.
Yep.
It's worked in the greatest country. American exceptionalism. It teaches that the United States is the greatest country in the history of the world, and that the U.S.
It is.
Constitution is an exceptional political document.
Constitution is probably the single-handedly the most important document in the world. Next, if you were to say what are the most important documents ever in mankind, the Bible, and then the Constitution. I think the Constitution is second to the Bible.
Alrighty. And then their last one is individual liberty. The group stresses individual freedom, free speech, and the power of individual choice over collective action. So yeah.
Crazy.
Yep.
All right, let's keep going.
Yep.
Pulled away from their families.
I'll be right back. I'm
because
gonna take a call.
They committed a
Sounds good.
misdemeanor coming across the U.S. border. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Yet we got a felon in the damn White House.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and a pedophile to boot.
I love how she said PDF file. I love that she said that. Wasn't the LGBTQ, wasn't the Alphabet Mafia trying to promote what's it called, pedophilia? Yeah, isn't that how that works? Trevor has to head out. He has to head out for something. We're almost done though. I think we got like maybe, how far are we into this video? We probably got 6 minutes left, so maybe like 10, 12 minutes more of commentary before we head out.
Yeah.
I don't know if you need to leave right now or if you.
Yeah, I do. You'll be able to.
Yeah.
Do it yourself.
I'll be able to talk through at least the little last part of it.
All right. Thank you guys, for watching everything. I gotta go, but Rudy's gonna take care of y'all. Give you thoughts.
I'm gonna take care of this. For the last, you'll get the base Rudy side of me now. the real base Rudy side of me now. All right, let's continue watching. I love how you said PDF files, but isn't that interesting? How just a couple years ago we were trying to, stop calling them PDF files and go to calling them maps, right? Minor attracted persons. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the Epstein files, they ran on that, and we're still waiting for them. So.
That's actually something I still agree on. That's something that I actually disagreed when it came to the Epstein files, when Charlie Kirk, when the beginning of the Epstein files not being released, and Charlie Kirk was kind of falling in line with the whole right-wing media, like they were all starting to act like the left. But still, that's a disagreement, right? Now, you can have disagreements without believing somebody needs to, be eliminated. It's not difficult to do that. But yeah, I mean, I'm still waiting on the Epstein files. Where are they at? I've been waiting. You ran on them. Where are they at? That's actually something I truly meant there.
So, and they seem to be supporting the rule of the lawless, the GOP does, and
Of the lawless? Are you seeing all the crime that we have in sanctuary cities ran by Democratic governors? Have you been to California? Chicago? I mean, we didn't even talk about it because, it happened earlier in the week, but the stabbing in North Carolina of the Ukrainian girl, I thought the Dems loved Ukraine. What happened? What happened to that?
his message in here. So that's why we're here.
Okay. And I have one more question for you. That way I don't take too much of your time. Do you think, overall, where Christianity is in America, do you think it's become a net positive or negative, or do you think people like Charlie Kirk are perverting it, twisting it, and maybe they're a bad apple in Christianity?
I think Christianity has definitely gotten perverted, and I think people like him and others similar to the message that they spread is making it more perverted and hateful, and that's where we need to stop it as a people. And I came to America as an infant from another country, but I chose to become an American citizen when I was 18. So the changes I have seen in my 65 years and the negativity that has been brought on over the last probably 10
I'm curious to see what country she came from. I really wish I would have asked, because if it would have been like a country like a communist country, I would be really curious to see why she would want some of the values that the Democratic Party is pushing. Like free handouts and socialism and all that. I really wonder what country she came from. I wonder, but I mean, she was an infant, so she never really would have experienced. I'm assuming that she's an older lady. Her parents probably aren't around anymore. So I don't know. Interesting. There was one thing that's really just that I've been thinking about. how they say Christianity has been perverted, and I kind of worded it that way. I was like, do you think what was their thought on Christianity? I didn't want them to I didn't want to word it in a way that it was like, is Christianity bad or no, or not? I didn't want to make it seem like I was trying to get them in a gotcha or make it polarizing. I was genuinely trying to get their thoughts on Christianity itself as the religion, and that it's been perverted. I think the danger that we ran into as a society is that we think that Christianity or people think that Christianity is a certain way. They want to see God their way, is what I'm trying to say. They want to see God in their own way. They don't want to see God in any other way. It's God on their terms rather than God on his terms. And I think that's the problem that we have in the world, is that we see Christianity as rules, rules, rules. You can't do this, you can't do that, you have to change how you live, which it's partially true. Yes, you do have to change how you live. It does involve transformation and living a life that is pleasing and that is worship to the Lord. Obviously, you're not perfect, but it's more than just that. It's deeper than that. It's to be in a relationship with God. That's what Christianity is about. In order to be in a relationship, when you are in a relationship that someone truly cares about you, like the way God does, God doesn't want you to want to see you doing certain things. He wants you to be better. That's what Christianity is about.
Years since Donald Trump and all these other messages that are on right-wing media and whatnot have just spread this disease of hatred around the world.
Lady, you do not know who Nick Fuentes is. Again, they think that Charlie Kirk is spewing this hate, that he's an extremist. You don't know what you have awakened by this. I'm genuinely concerned about this. You don't know what they're flocking to him already.
And around the U.S. particularly, and it's got to stop. So that's why, even though we're small, our message is strong, and even though we're a small group here, we are here for the young people, for you. You're young. You know what I mean? We're here for all of you, and we're here for a better and a more loving and generous America that we used to be or should have been. And anyway, that's why I'm here.
So what are signs? This is not about Christianity. It's about white supremacy. Charlie KKK Kirk, Turning Point USA need to be flushed. And again, when you have this kind of rhetoric, somebody takes it serious. Somebody will eventually take it serious. And then we have an episode like this.
What brought you out here in the first place?
So obviously standing.
Disclaimer, the camera didn't record, so we just have the audio, so just be worried about that.
Against Charlie Kirk is what brought me out here. He's been a major influence towards spreading right-wing ideology and general hostility to people who aren't white, cisgender, heterosexual Christians in the U.S.
Again, Candace Owens, his best friend, black woman. I don't know what else to tell you, man. It's just a lie, man. You're just blatantly lying. Like he's, oh, if you're white, if you're not white, he hates you. I think there's a show on YouTube, but I have to find it later. There's 3 black guys. They have the little show. They're conservatives, and they got their start. I guess Charlie Kirk helped them get their start. They were black. You're just blatantly lying, man. I'm sorry. And you may say, oh, and then these are the people that'll say, oh, those black people have white supremacy in them. It's like it's not part of their team. It doesn't fit their narrative, so therefore it doesn't count. Is what it is. It's insane, man. It's crazy.
And I was raised Christian, and I see a lot of the messages of Christianity as being positive ones, even though I'm no longer actively involved in the church. There's a lot of messages about caring for the poor.
The seed has been planted in him. The seed has been planted in him. I pray to God that he will find the Lord one day. That the seed has been planted in him. He sees it as positive. Maybe, I don't know what church he grew up in. Maybe the church that he grew up in maybe was not good. Maybe it was not a good environment. Maybe he has church hurt, whatever it is. But I truly pray and I really hope that this young man finds the Lord one day. The seed is planted in him, and God can work on his heart.
tending to the sick, caring for the oppressed, opposing.
I got a chatter. Yes, thank you so much, Brendan. Yes, the Cartier family. Yes, Cartier family. Exactly. Three black guys that have met and have worked with Charlie Kirk. Yeah, again, the whole racist thing that he if you're not white that he doesn't like you. It's just flat out lies, man. It's just blatantly lying.
The gathering of wealth, and so I think it's a shame that to see churches hosting people like Charlie Kirk, whose message is really antithetical to that.
Okay, that leads into the next one. So he's obviously here at a church. And you said you came from you were brought up in a Christian household. So what's your opinion? Do you think Christianity overall is like a net positive for society, or do you think he's just a bad apple, spreading or twisting it?
I mean, there's really, if we take the long view of it, two sides to that, where there are a lot of positive things that have come out of Christianity, charity work in particular, but then we see, even like dating back to the colonial era, Christianity being used as a way to oppress and erase Native people. And so I think that legacy lives on.
You're talking about preaching the gospel. That's different. Now, if you're, I don't know exactly what he's talking about, but obviously there was, mission work in the United States, in the early, colonial days, and Christopher Columbus, came over. I'm pretty sure they brought over Christopher Valley. Not Christopher Columbus did some crazy things. I don't know exactly what he's talking about there, but obviously, with that, with Europe coming to America, Christianity came with it as well. So I'm not 100% sure. I really wish we would have had more time. I would have kind of go in deeper in with a dialogue with that.
On today, where we see some more progressive churches.
Yeah, progressive churches are not churches. Those are wolves in sheep's clothing. Yeah, those are not churches. If you see any church with a pride flag outside of it, get away as far as you possibly can away from that church. Do not enter. Do not go. That is not a church. That is a place that will send you straight to hell.
And then some more conservative churches that spread those more hateful ideologies.
Thank you. One more question. So what, revolving back to Charlie Kirk, what do you... Sorry.
No honking.
Got some supporters here. So what's the biggest harm you think he's causing to communities or just online?
So I think just generally spreading hostility towards marginalized people. I know when I was in grad school at Texas A&M, we had a pretty big Turning Point USA chapter, and there were some people who got copies of their Discord messages, and the stuff that people would say in there was just really vile towards women, towards trans people, towards
cameras
people,
back on.
towards immigrants. That is a good thing to be doing.
What is the first thing that you saw about Charlie Kirk?
One of the first videos I saw was him talking, disparaging women, disparaging the liberals, the woke, basically stating that we were inferior, and originally he was against, he was for separation of church and state, and he's since gone back on that, obviously because they pay him well, but he's changing his story just like all of the others so that it suits their propaganda.
Okay. And just one more quick question. I don't want to take up all your time. Do you think Christianity overall is a net positive for society, or do you think it's been perverted over time?
If Christianity were based on the red words of the Bible, it would be wonderful. Jesus taught love and acceptance and...
Again, this is liberals at work taking crap out of the Bible, taking little snippets out of context. Yes, Jesus is about love. Yes, Jesus does accept you. He accepts you how you are. Okay, Jesus wants to accept you as you are, but does he want you to stay that way? That's the question. And the answer to that question is no. He does not want you to stay that way. Yes, Jesus will love you how you are. If you are messed up, if you are living in sin, Jesus Christ will accept you as you are. Come as you are, but you're not going to stay that way. Jesus is going to transform your heart and transform your way of thinking. It's in Romans 12. You're going to be transformed by the renewing of your mind, and you're no longer going to think like the world. That's what these people don't understand. They just want to take the little, oh, and Jesus is love. Jesus is accepting. Yes, he is. But he does not want you to stay that way. Jesus requires you. Jesus requires you to change how you think. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. That's what these people don't understand. And I hope that one day they come to find God and they do understand.
Kindness, take care of the poor, and it has been perverted. It has definitely been construed to fit their own agendas and mega churches and deep pockets. And so it's definitely not Christianity any longer. It's white nationalism.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you. You too. You too.
Jesus or Charlie, you choose. So I'm choosing Jesus, but Jesus chose Charlie chose Jesus. Yep. That's how these people. That's how these people truly believe, man. Those of you that are maybe just tuning in, Trejo had to leave. He had something he had to go take care of. So I was just finishing out. He's only been gone probably for like 10 minutes. So I was just finishing out the episode, finishing out this reaction. Yeah. Man, it's been a somber week. We definitely talked about how the impact that Charlie Kirk made on our lives, and you have to think about whether you're liberal or conservative. You have to think about this. What happened on Wednesday was not just an attack on conservatives, but it was also an attack on liberals. It was an attack on our ability to have discourse. It was the attack on our ability to have conversation. It wasn't just an attack on just right wing. It was also an attack on left wing, believe it or not. If you're celebrating that, you're celebrating your free speech. This attack was an attack on your free speech. Whether you agree with Charlie Kirk's views or not, it was an attack on your speech. It was it was an attack on our ability to have conversation. We need to have conversation. If you're celebrating, you're championing it, then nobody should have a conversation with you. Go ahead. Go be in your little echo chamber. Nobody wants to talk to you. Go be in your little echo chamber. Atreyo's in chat now. He's saying well said. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. So guys, again, thank you so much for watching. If there's anything that you can take away from this week, everything that has happened, I need to do this myself, practice what I preach, but you need to do what I've been saying pretty much every single episode. Get off the internet. Get in the Word. Pray and seek the Lord.